Hinge is the dating app designed to be deleted.
Hinge prompts help you show off your full personality and connect with someone who appreciates you.
Specifically, Hinge's LGBTQIA+ prompts are designed to help queer daters better connect based on similarities, interests, and compatibility.
Plus, these prompts were created in collaboration with GLAAD, so they are by the people for the people. So, like, one prompt is, the first time I knew I was gay was, and it's funny, like, the first time I knew I was gay, Ronnie, is I was reading Nintendo Power magazine, and they had a spread about Castlevania 2, and they had, like, this beefy model guy as, like, the Castlevania guy, and I was like, who is that? And that's when I knew I was gay, and that's what I would put on Hinge.
Oh, God. And let's not forget the classic international mail catalog.
Oh,
wow.
the best. Download Hinge and show off your full self using their LGBTQIA+ prompts today. Then find someone worth deleting the app for.
Seasons change. Why not your tech?
Upgrade now during the Dell Technologies summer sale event and save on select PCs like the XPS 16 powered by Intel Core processors.
You'll be able to bring your most intensive projects to life with built-in AI, minimalistic design, immersive visuals, and cinematic audio.
When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to exceptional tech and electronics, plus free shipping on everything.
Amazing prices await you for a limited time only at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Summer's all about making fun and delicious memories with the people you care about.
It's a perfect time to host a dinner party, enjoy family movie night, or game night with friends. I used to live right by a Whole Foods market, and I would grab all of my appetizers and stuff for my friends, and I would get my wine and everything right there in one place. Love that place. Never without it when I have people over.
And in summer, I love to grill meat, and that's why I always go to Whole Foods Market, because they have just wonderful cuts of meat.
You could also look to Whole Foods Market Catering to make entertaining as easy as it is flavorful. Order shrimp platters, veggie crudités, charcuterie, and more. Explore your options at shop.wfm.com.
Host the perfect summer dinner party with help from Whole Foods Market.
Watch what cares what happens when there's so much that happens. Watch what happens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that happens.
Hi everyone, welcome back. This is part 2 of a 2-part recap. If you're wondering where part 1 was, well, go check in the feed and be sure to subscribe. So then Zach is like, this is how Janet does stuff, okay? She was letting some other people hear my conversation. Do you not see how fucked up that is? That is absolutely so fucked up. Trying to think of like a Betty that I could turn into a Petty and make a very funny pun. Hold on, it's coming to me. That is like Petty and Wilma. Okay, thank you. We can resume.
Dang, I'm sad I didn't think of that one. So he's like, yeah, I mean, I didn't know I was on speakerphone with Janet, and she didn't tell me that there was anybody else there. That is a textbook mean girl move. And on top of that, she decided to have Jaxxed do her bidding. She could have texted, she could have called, she could have sent a carrier pigeon. You could have come here by airplane. You could have come here by mail plane. I don't care how you get here. Just get here if you can.
Oh, Petty Adams. So then Janet, it's barely a pun, but I just want to go there. So Janet's like, Janet's talking and she's like, Jasmine just said he was trolling me. And Jasmine overhears, like, goes, Janet, I am not, like, don't make me the bad guy here. And thank you, Jasmine. Janet's like, all right, well, you know what? Like, have his back. Good luck with that. Go have fun. Go have fun. Janet's basically like, oh, like because you just sort of defended Zach, you're like not a friend to me anymore. Great.
Yeah, and Jasmine's like, I'm not taking anybody's side. And so Brittany comes over and she's like, are y'all okay? And he's like, Yeah, sure, sit down, baby. And he's like, yeah, she has all her minions around her, and she's got crock of shit boots right next to her. I practiced that one. I practiced it. Okay, but so what? And she's like, she got all these kiss-ass gays around her saying, you're the best, Janet. You're the best.
Because right now, like, Zach and Brittany are in like one booth, and the adjacent booth is Janet with her gays. So they're having kind of like a cold war amongst the booths, you know?
And I love that he said that, because that is exactly what those two Muppet gays are doing. They're sitting right next to Janet going, oh my God, what did he say? What?
Tell me more, tell me more. Did he post a troubling thing on IG stories? Tell me more, tell me more. Did he make it seem like he was in Big Bear by geotagging Big Bear, but then he just wrote something menacing and it was a black screen? Tell me more.
I mean, they're just over there laughing at everything she says like she's Petty fucking Murphy. That's me, bitch.
So Zach is like, I don't care. I just don't care. Michelle's like, but you should care, because if someone is causing stress, she can literally lose her baby. So don't say something like that. Okay, great. I'm sorry. She's not the fucking queen. Actually, wait. Just thought of good gay funny moment right now. Actually, you know what? She is the Queen of England because she's dead to me. Like Queen Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth died. Okay, so there was a queen in England and everyone loved her, but she died and she's dead right now. So she is like that queen because she's dead to me. Does everyone see what I'm trying to say here? Does everyone get the pun? If you get the pun, you can sit in my booth. Anyone. Queen of England, dead.
Do you think that this is where all this accusation... Well, no, it had to have happened earlier, right?
I don't think it's from this.
You don't think it's from this Janet saying that she thinks that Zach wants her and her baby to die, or whatever she said? Because this happened after, right? But I can't remember if she said that in a confessional or what, like where that originated.
Honestly, I think this whole thing about like Janet saying that Zach wants her baby to be killed is so dark and so fucked up. It's like, it's actually like gossip that I don't think is like fun. And I just think
Agreed.
that like, I'm not willing to do the research and give it any light of day with Janet. Like if that's really like, I just think it's ridiculous.
Yeah. You know what? I love that stance, and I'm going to jump on that train with you. Fuck that.
Yeah.
So Brittany comes over. She's like, what's going on? And he's like, I mean, don't you even get angry, Brittany, because you weren't here. And she's like, I'm not angry. I just want to have everybody like have a good time, right? I mean, I just don't want to deal with this shit right now. I mean, can't anybody just tell me I'm pretty? Anybody?
I don't have the mental capacity for this right now. Well, I don't know if I have mental capacity for too many things, too many times, but I'm already going through all sorts of these things with my issues, my marriage, and like just got this bar open and all my friends are fighting and I can't get my TiVo to work. And I thought tonight it'd be like a little bit of respect would be had for the fact that there was a bar opening. I mean, where was the last time why can't a girl just open up a bar in Studio City anymore and have some respect for it?
Girl, let's not pretend like this is your first time being at a bar when it opens. Second of all, you were the one who started all this, Brittany, ma'am. You started all of these fights at the beginning of the season, and you don't get to act like none of the, you're just the victim, and you can't believe people are ruining your night. People are giving you a season finale, and you planted the seeds by starting all of this gossip and throwing Zach under the bus at the very beginning of the season. Didn't she? Is this in my head that she started this?
She did. It's all fucked up. I think she said something to Jax, which she's entitled to because they are a couple. And then Jax told Kristen, and then Jax acted like Kristen told him. And then, of course, then Kristen held on to it. But then Janet said something to Zach, and then Zach told Kristen, and then Kristen was sitting on that. And then Brittany came for Kristen and accused Kristen of trying to fuck up the vibe of everything. And so Kristen was like, what? Because of this? So she outs the thing about the Republican thing, which Janet started. And then they all got mad at Kristen, make it sound like Kristen brought that out of thin air. And then they're all angry at Kristen. So then Kristen finally gets fed up and unleashes the first thing that she learned from Jax, which he learned from Kristen, from Brittany. So in both cases, Brittany, the roads go back to Brittany.
Yeah, all roads lead back.
Did anyone
to
follow
Brittany.
that? That made sense, right?
Yeah,
that was like very articulate and well stated.
My brain is leaking out of my ear, but yes, it did make sense.
Hi, that's a new cocktail at Jaxxed.
Brain leakage.
Brain leaker. Brain leakage.
Jasmine goes up to to Janet and she's like, okay, it's like we're good. I mean, I get it. Like you don't like Zach. Like okay, that's fine then. She goes, no, because if Zach tells me to get the fuck out of here, I'm completely validated to not have him at my baby moon. She goes, okay, I hear you. I hear you. I get it.
He said that after the invitation situation, not before the invitation situation.
Janet's just a fucking liar and a Karen. I can't. And I'm trying to use the word Karen less, but then they bring on the ultimate Karen. She's not even. She's worse than Trishelle. I think she's worse. She's like a concentrate of Trishelle.
Trishelle. No vowels. She's a Trishelle. So. No, because I'm trying to use the word Trishelle instead of Karen out of respect for our lovely
I know,
Karen
but I couldn't do that because I feel like she's even worse than Trishelle. I feel like Trishelle doesn't deserve that. I feel like Trishelle's pretty terrible. But this, I don't know. She's just the worst. This woman's the worst. So, so Jasmine's like, okay, I'm telling you, I get it. She's, and so you approve of that behavior? And she's like, no, I don't approve of it. She goes, you're not talking to me like a friend right now because I'm on the brink of crying. I need to go to bed. Oh my God, then go. Then just fucking go. Why don't you go anywhere? Why don't you go anywhere if this is this difficult for you? Just fucking go.
So Jasmine's basically like, well, you know what? This makes me want to cry too. And Zach is my friend. And it's fucked up for you guys to put me in a place where to choose him or choose you. That's like fucked up. And she says like, you know, like Janet's like, well, you're not going to have my back. Like I'm like, I always have your back. Like you guys are like my good friends. And it really hurts me because I know how good you guys can be. And like, I've seen it. For you to say I don't have your back because I'm also Zach's friend, that's just like not fair. She's totally right. It's not fair for her to do that. She goes, I have your guys' back. I have his back. And it's fucked up. And that's all I'm saying. You're just like, fucked up. So then Jason calls over Janet. He's like, Janet, come over here. So he gets her out of there, saves her. And Brittany is like, I know you guys can fix this. You guys can totally fix this. Because right, if there's anything that we've learned from this show is that all these relationships are totally fixable.
So Jasmine's like, I mean, I wouldn't cry over anybody else, you guys. Like, you're being mean to me, and I really like you. We're friends, Janet. And Janet's like, I mean, trust me, I want to cry too. But I want to do it at home. You don't want to cry. You started all this. You're an asshole. So Jasmine's like, well, you know, like I've been friends with you and blah, blah. And Janet's like, I gave him a chance and it didn't work out. And so now he doesn't get to buy my baby gifts. Like, oh, here we come with the Janet threats. We don't get to go to your baby party and buy you gifts. Now we don't get to come to your baby sip and see and buy you gifts. Then we don't get to come to your baby's first fucking birthday and buy your baby some more fucking gifts. Fuck off with you and your baby threats, okay? You baby terrorist.
So Jax is like, oh my God, everyone's got drama. So he offers water to Brittany. He's like, here's some water. I need you to be sober right now. You did offer her shots before, just so you know. And by the way, water doesn't make you sober. I hate to break this news to people. Water does not make you sober. It just makes the hangover easier, but water does not miraculously make you sober.
So Jack's like, all right, I have to do a speech and shit. So everybody, you know, I just want to say like, thank you so much. Wait, am I giving a speech now? I think it's not till later. So I'm just going to talk about giving it.
Practice run.
Yeah, I'm just going to, I'll do that later. So yeah. Jason's like, we need to like stay and support our friends, you know, because they're on their side of the bar over here, and we're hanging out over here. And Janet's like, the thing with Jasmine, it's like not good. Okay, it's not good.
And Jasmine's venting to Kristen. She's like, I mean, I see you guys are like not in a good place and you're like getting mad at me for like trying. So you know, like what, you can take your happy vanilla corny shit somewhere else. And Kristen goes, yeah, because I like Miss Big Bear. So I'm just like catching up on what's going on. Seriously. So and then Janet's venting.
But when she said you can take your happy vanilla corn dog shit somewhere else, I started laughing hard because they literally showed the flashback to them dressing as the couple as their favorite things, and it was vanilla and a corn dog. I mean,
I know.
The show is so good that I even forgot that, and it just happened. I mean, there's so much packed into this show, but of course that's their couple thing, vanilla and a corn dog.
So then Janet pulls this move because she's venting, and she goes, you know what? Now I guess I know who my friends are and who are not. And when I bring a child into this world, I know who's going to be around that child and who's not. Like, oh, God forbid. Like, God forbid I don't get the invitation to be around your child. Like, I love when people do that as if it's like people really, really care about being around your
Yeah, it's like
future,
you're threatening me with
child.
with keeping your child away. Give me a fucking break with that. Oh, I don't get to babysit for free for you. Oh, I don't like you. Why would I want to be around like a tiny version of you that poops?
Yeah. So Jasmine's like, okay, bring Jax over here. And so he's like, okay, what's going on? What's going on? And Jasmine's like, I don't want to do this at your party, but it's fucking bullshit. When you had us sat down and you said that you guys aren't invited to Big Bear, that was like not cool. And Jack's like, oh, I was the messenger. And she's like, exactly. And that's what I told Janet. But like, she said, I don't know why he said that. The messenger. And I'm like, well, he was. It was Jax.
Well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go talk about the head of the problem right now. I'm going to go talk to her right now. So he marches over there, and Nia's just like, can we get a girl's photo before and after living Tarzana?
All the girls hate each other. Can we have a girl's photo, please? I'm about to go to Santa Clarita, so probably won't see me for a few years.
So now Zach is like, hey, Luke, Daddy, follow me. And Luke's like, no, I want to keep my eyeline on Kristen. So then we see Kristen go up to she's like, so look, this is what happened to Michelle. Michelle's like, there was no reason for you to do everything that you did, Kristen. She goes, Janet started it. Do you not realize that? Janet's the one who fucking started it. It was Janet all along. It was Janet.
So then Jax is like, okay, first of all, I'm not going to get into this, but like, I was the messenger, Janet, because he's thinking a different section. I was the messenger. And Jack goes, hold on, be careful with your tone, because I am pregnant.
Hold on, lady. I'm pregnant.
Hold on, the baby hears your tone. The baby hears your tone, Jax. Wait, I'm pregnant. Let's go.
So he's like, I mean, I was just a messenger. She goes, so I told you to go uninvite everyone? He goes, everyone? No. She goes, okay, I'm done. Good luck with your bar. I'm pregnant, and I'm done here.
When she said, careful with your tone, I am pregnant, I was like, I can't. I think that was the moment I turned on Janet. That was when I went from being like, well, she's a monster, but she's hilarious, to being like, wait a second.
No, she just sucks. She's a really bad try to rip off Stassi. She's like cosplaying Stassi, and honey, it's just not. You don't have it in you. I'm so sorry. So Zach is like, oh, we're just like so fractured right now. I just don't know where we all go forward in this. I mean, they're trying to make me out to be a monster, like I'm some kind of Eddie Munster. I just can't. Petty Munster. Oh, damn, I fucked up a Petty Munster.
Oh, dude. Petty Munster.
Oh, boo,
yeah.
Boo, I quit. Sorry, everybody. I'm hanging up my hat.
You know what? Janet likes to spread these seeds of gossip and drama everywhere. And the thing that Janet doesn't understand is that her normal tricks she can get away with because nobody sees them. It's all behind the scenes. But now every person's seeing it, and I don't think people can ignore it anymore. And then we see like, I think this is where we see like an extended montage of Janet blatantly sowing seeds of discord throughout the entire group.
Yeah. So then Kristen's still like, it's Janet. Janet's been lying the whole fucking time. Oh, Mariposa. Oh, they're like holding Kristen back. She's like, it was her. It was her. Brittany's like, I feel like I need to let y'all talk about this. And she's like, no, she doesn't want to talk about it. And I respect that. I respect it very much.
So then Jax is like, it's time for him to give a speech. He's like, all right, everyone, hey, welcome to Jax's. I can't tell you how great it is to have an establishment with these guys. Like, we're here we are in the heart of Beverly Hills. Jax, it's the Valley. Like I said, it's amazing we got to open up this casino here on the Strip. I mean, right across from Harrah's, Bellagio. Jax, we're a bar in the Valley. I mean, to be up here at the top of 30 Rock, rebranding the Rainbow Room after Jax. I mean, what an honor.
Welcome to Jax George. I like when he said, welcome to Jax's. And he is like, and Brittany's. And Zach's like, yeah, and Brittany's. Yeah, Jax. Brittany's the one who fucking did everything. What have you done except come here and get drunk every night with a bunch of fans, you weirdo? Give Brittany some credit. I hope Brittany opens a revenge business. It could just be called "Someone Call Me Pretty?" ? And you can go get your makeup done or something. And someone will call you pretty.
You're a cool guy. So Brittany's
You're a cool guy, Kingsley. You're a cool guy.
you know what? Tonight was a lot of drama, but I am definitely not happy about that. But I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of Jaxxed because the way he wiped the dust off of that neon sign outside, that was amazing. And now we have this beautiful sports bar for the Valley, which the Valley does not have a single one. So I'm so glad we were able to start sports bars in the Valley. And at the end of the day, I'm going to say this night was a success. Yes.
And then Jax and Brittany kiss, and then Jax just kind of like smells her breath and shakes his head like, this poor alcoholic, but I love her.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
Ronnie, isn't it amazing that we live in a world where you can get anything you need when you need it right to your door?
Yeah, with DoorDash, you can get pretty much anything.
This is so true. I really will lean into whatever. Groceries, ran out of booze at a party once. You can literally DoorDash. It feels like everything in the world sometimes.
Well, truly. And now I do the double dash where I get some food from one place, but then I'll still want ice cream.
Yeah.
And you can get that from another place. Or have them run to Walgreens or the 7-Eleven or whatever on the way to get your snacks. I mean, it's a dream. DoorDash, your door to more. Download the DoorDash app now to get almost anything delivered.
Must be 21 plus to order alcohol. Drink responsibly. Alcohol available only in select markets. Shout out to Claritin for supporting this episode and providing us with samples.
My family is an allergy family, and one thing I can always count on is that somebody has the Claritin.
Luckily, for those of us who live with symptoms of allergies, we can live Claritin Clear with Claritin D.
Designed for serious allergy sufferers, Claritin D has 2 powerful ingredients in just one pill that relieve your allergy symptoms and decongest your nose so you can breathe better.
This double action combination of prescription strength allergy medicine and the best decongestant available relieves sneezing, a runny nose, itching, and watery eyes, an itchy nose and throat, and sinus congestion and pressure with ease.
I've got 2 nieces with extreme allergies, and the only thing that helps them is Claritin. We've always got it.
Oh yeah, my boyfriend, let me tell you something. When the allergies start up in Los Angeles, it's like, this is like, reach for that Claritin. Ready to live life as if you don't have allergies? It's time to live Claritin Clear.
Fast and powerful relief is just a quick trip away. Find Claritin D at the pharmacy counter.
Ask for Claritin at your local pharmacy counter. You don't even need a prescription.
Go to Claritin.com right now for a discount so you can live Claritin Clear. Use as directed. 6 months later.
We now go to Jesse and Michelle's house. It's March 2024. And Michelle shows up and, it's like tense between them. And Michelle has brings Isabella into the house, and they're making like small talk or whatever. And Michelle's like, all right, well, let's bring the bike to my house. Hey, Isabella, what else should we bring to my house? We got to bring some toys. Should we bring some toys? How about some joy? Oh, wait, that's right. There is no joy in this house. Ha 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 ha.
Can I have a fork so I can try to eat Daddy Meatloaf? It's meathead, honey. Meathead. Sorry, Mommy.
Go into the other room while I talk to your daddy. So she does. And Jesse's like, what did she say when you picked her up? She goes, she didn't say anything. She said she had a nice weekend with you. Ooh. And he's like, yeah, she did. She had a lot of fun. So are you good with the schedule for next week or what?
She goes, as long as it makes sense and it's 50-50. And he goes, it is 50-50. 2 days on, 2 days off. It's perfect. She goes, well, then I have no issues. He goes, okay, well, I've asked you multiple times, have you gotten all the supplies and everything from Malibu? Because you're taking Malibu with you when Isabella's with you, are you not?
You know, the fact that they named their dog Malibu, this shows me everything I need to know about Jesse. You were never planning on being truly close with your wife because you named your dog the most loving thing in your house. You named it a distance. Because that shit's far. Malibu is so far. Every time he says it, I'm like, oh, all I can think about is the drive. So she's like, I finally hit a point where I knew I was done and I wanted to get out and I wanted to start my new life. There's no question on whether or not I made the right choice.
So she's like, well, because he's so condescending. He's like, you bought food for the dog, right? She's like, yeah, I bought food for the dog. Like we've discussed, we need to come up with a list. And he's like, well, I don't know why you need a list. It's very simple. Maybe even someone like a woman could understand it if we just go through it. She's, yeah, but it's not simple until it's complicated. So I'd rather have it written down as a list.
So yeah, I just love that Michelle came in here and she was not going to let this fucker manipulate anything. I mean, I think that he is ready to manipulate the audience with his tears and be like, look what this horrid woman did to me. And now he's going to cry, and now he's going to try and start a fight with her to get some emotion out of her, because you know how we do when we're hurt. We're like, oh, do you feel anything? Can I at least make you mad? And she's like, no, you cannot. I don't feel anything for you.
And here so now she's like, I basically want in writing all the, like, our plan going forward, I guess with like the kid, the business or whatever. And he's like, it's simple. He's like saying, it's very simple. Let's not make it complicated. It's very condescending, but it's also his way of trying to get out of writing, putting anything in writing, you know? And she's like, yeah, it's simple until it's not simple, you know, because these things become complicated. Anytime people talk about divorce, any breakup, but really divorce, how they're like, it'll just be simple and quick. It never is. It just never is. So she's absolutely right. Whatever it is they're talking about, they're going to get it in writing. They should.
When people are like, oh, he would never do this. I know him.
Mm-hmm.
He would never treat me like that. No, you know the person that you dated and that you married. You don't know the person that you divorced yet. Okay.
Yep.
That is a different person. Okay. Get it in writing. Get it in writing, people. So, she's like, it needs to be in writing. And he's like, the only thing we don't fight about is Isabella. So right now we're in the ship form of a kaleidoscope of a divorce. And she's like, here it is. It is simple, Jesse. We don't work together anymore. The end. That's it. That's all you have to say in the papers. It's done now.
He's like, I mean, that's kind of a interesting metaphor. We don't work together anymore. I don't know if you ever really worked together in the first place, if you see what I'm saying. So Jesse is like, perfect. So the mediator was very clear in her emails that with the filing paperwork, it is to be printed, signed, and scanned back to her. And I'm not signing anything until I can retain an attorney to go to court to file. So I don't know the whole backstory of their arrangement, but it already sounds to me like whatever they decided they were going to agree to, he's already backing out of it.
Yeah. And she's saying, what are you talking about? We're getting divorced. And he's like, no, I need my own lawyer. Okay, then why'd you agree to a mediator?
Yeah.
Like, are you an idiot? Can you not? He's just grasping. I think he's just trying to pretend that he's grasping at straws. But if he really was making an effort and he really did want this, A, he would have done more than an ayahuasca weekend. And B, he would have made some effort to get his own lawyer and fight this instead of just being like, okay, get a mediator. And then I'll just complain about my own lawyer when there are TV cameras around. He's fucking not falling for any of this bullshit, okay? It's been a week of Bravo men on TV. It's been a year of Bravo men on TV. This is just one more cobblestone on the street to terrible manhood, sir.
Yeah. So she tells us, Jesse has a very strong personality, and I don't think he is used to me being very stern in what I believe in, and I'm not going to take any of that type of bullshit. There is nothing to discuss. I've moved out.
So he's like, correct. She goes, and I paid half the rent here, and I paid for my new place. And he's saying, well, but I'm just asking about the corporation. Our business is running. And she goes, the money is split. And he's like, no, we need to talk to a corporate attorney and an accountant, and I explained to you, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, the kid interrupts, for a second, and they shoo her away. And Michelle's like, I've made everything very simple. I moved out. I got a place. I got furniture. I moved on. We're not doing business together. We don't need to make anything complicated because and he's like, but I'm just thinking about Isabella. Really? You weren't thinking about her when you slept through her shit in her pants when she was growing up, or needing food when she was sobbing in the middle of the night and screaming? You weren't thinking about her then.
Isabella didn't choose this, so we have to remember that all we have left is to make sure she can live the best life she can. Okay, Jesse.
Okay.
So Michelle's like, to be the one who makes the decision to get divorced is incredibly hard because one day I will have to tell my daughter that I left her dad and his hair dent. At the end of the day, I'm doing what's best for her, but I'm always thought my daughter would be raised by two parents who are together, and ultimately that dream was not reality.
Yeah, so okay. So they're out. So then
done.
Now we go over to Janet and Jason's, and it's girl time. It's the end of the season thing where they pick up the cameras and all the girls get together to talk about how the men have done them wrong. It's now been Vanderpump Rules, Summer House, and this one. Was there anything else this year that this happened on? There was, right? What was the other one they brought up the cameras for this year?
They brought the cameras on Atlanta for Ralph and Drew Sidora, but
Yes.
that was
Right.
that was bad. Well, Potomac, you had that Gordon and Mia scene, which did not have any
cameras.
rallying. That was wild. That scene. That was probably one of the
Yes.
better cameras
That
to back
was.
up.
But this one is another one of all the ladies gathering, and so Michelle comes over and they're gonna have skinny margaritas, and Janet's like, oh my god, I'm not like Dolly Parton, I'm just pumping right now. I've got a baby. So it's so funny. He like lashes and then thrashes. It's like a baby thing. So it's rough. I'm a mom now. So
Have you ever heard of breastfeeding? Yeah, it's like something I'm sort of doing right now. So I'm a mom. So Michelle, they're all hanging out, and Michelle's talking about how she has like a new place, and Janet's like, asking about it, and turns out Michelle lives just like 2 blocks away from her old place, like close to Chateau Marmont, which is most important. I love how Janet's like, oh, so you're still in the same neighborhood, like, so you can walk to Chateau Marmont every day. I'm like, I love the Chateau Marmont thing is like the priority. It's like, so you can still find other directors there, right?
people, I mean, I've never heard of anybody loving the Chateau Marmont this much. Have you?
No, I'm also just impressed that she found a new place so close to it. I mean, that's like really high value real estate over there.
Yeah. So she's gonna still get to go there, and so Brittany's coming, and they're like, "Oh my God, what's going on with Brittany? Men, right?" And Michelle's like, "Yeah, the men go through emotions of ups and downs. Jesse is a roller coaster most of the time." And Nia's like,
Yeah, I would say that applies to all the men. They're all like that, roller coasters.
Well, actually, I guess in my life, the biggest roller coaster is the actual roller coaster at Magic Mountain, because Danny keeps taking me up to Valencia to try to sell me on it up there. I don't want to move up there. I don't want to move to Magic Mountain.
"Oh." So now Jax and Jason are at Jack's bar, and they're going to talk about being a dad. And Jason's like, "Dude, a lot is new. Janet already wants number 2." And I'm like, "Come on, bro." Jack's like, "Dude, you've had a baby for like 5 minutes. Let me string her along for a while, make her not feel pretty, and then start calling her an alcoholic before you even consider that shit."
And then, they're like talking about the baby stuff and everything. And Jason's like, so man, you've had a busy last few days, huh? And Jack's like, oh man, the paparazzi have been everywhere. I mean, there's no affairs, there's no cheating, there's no abuse, nothing like that. I'm just like, I'm so triggered. And I'm so like, my fuse is like this big right now. I was like, I just have to go to AM, PM.
All day long. He probably actually is freaking out because he doesn't have to go to AM PM because there's no one to avoid in the house anymore.
Yeah.
So, by the way, so fucking gross that Brittany had to move out and Jack stayed there. I just can't stress enough how gross that is. So now Janet and Jason, their house or whatever. So Brittany comes over and she's like, "Oh my God, Janet can do a shot finally. Lord knows I need a shot."
Michelle's like, how are you doing? She's like, I'm all right. I've had this weird moment right now because today was so hard. And she tells us a lot's happened between me and Jax. We were already having issues all summer long and stuff, but like once the camera stopped rolling, things just seemed to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And then it got worse and then it got worse and it got worse and it got worse and it got worse and it got worse. I was like, okay, Brittany. So about 6 weeks ago, I got separated from Jax. and I moved into an Airbnb with Cruz because Jax would not leave the house. I just feel like it shows how selfish it is. The fact that I had to move out with Cruz instead of him moving out, especially being from Kentucky. Like, man doesn't do that in Kentucky.
Men don't leave the house. Men leave the house in Kentucky. Do men leave the house generally in Kentucky? I like that that's a state thing, like Kentucky, where the men have the decency to leave the house. Their state flower is the man moving out.
U-Haul. U-Haul.
So Janet's like, you guys are nicer than me because, like, I wouldn't have gone. And she's like, well, it was like he wasn't going to leave, so I had to leave. I mean, it was just too toxic of a situation, especially for my son. So then back to Jax. Jax is like, I mean, I've been so in the dumps, just like crying my eyes out. You know, that's what kills me the most. You know, Cruz. Like, all I think about is Cruz. Like, is he cold? Probably. Does he have a roof over his head? Do I really care? Can he find parking? How old is that kid? I really don't know. Why did
What's
I name
his
him
face
Cruz?
look like?
I just keep going up to random kids saying Cruz.
Cruz.
Every one of them has said
Man.
no. I mean, it's just so triggering.
Oh man, all I can think about is Cruz and who's gonna take care of him when I have possession of him. So Jax is like, yeah, Brittany and I are on a break. I never said I would get married, then I never said I would get divorced, and here we are separated. It doesn't look good. Let me just like try to fake getting choked up. No, sorry, it didn't work. Didn't work this time. Catch me tomorrow.
And this is how Jax talks about Brittany behind her back. You can tell because Jason's next sentence. He goes, I mean, like you said, nothing happened. I didn't remember the line being like this. So never mind. Strike what I just said. I thought Jason he said, so it's not like you caught her in bed having a threesome, which I was like, oh my God, that's so Jax. Because remember when he was like, oh yeah, I caught her in bed having who did he say she was having sex with? Kristen? Kristen was going down on her? Didn't he say that one year that Kristen was going down on her and he caught it? But never mind. Jason says, she didn't catch you in bed having a threesome and you didn't catch her in bed having a threesome. And that's the worst thing to Jason. It's not just an affair. It's a freaky affair because he only likes couch sex. So it's like, oh my God, at least it wasn't two people that she was sleeping with at the same time.
So back to Jada's house, and Neil's like, so I was going to ask if there's something like the straw that broke the camel's back, or is it just like building up and you're tired of it? I'm like, those are the same things, but that's okay. So Brittany was like,
That's literally what that means.
was it like, there was like one instance where just like you said, I can't take it anymore? Or is it more just like there was a straw that broke the camel's back?
And Brittany's like, well, he was like going out to the bar and stuff and coming home and having horrible hangovers that would make him mean as a fucking snake. And it's the next, which is so funny because that's always what he's accusing her of, you know? So, of course, that's what he does. Opens a bar and then stays out with fans all night getting shit-faced. And I'm sure totally keeping his dick in his pants the whole time, too. So
our snakes, by the way, is this why snakes have such a bad reputation? They're all just hungover.
They're hungover.
He is so hungover. He's as mean as a snake.
So next morning, I'm asleep and Cruz and I are in my bed, and here comes Jax barreling in. And he comes in like, why is Luke texting me right now asking if I need someone to talk to because of what I'm going through? And finally, after he's been screaming to me for hours and hours, and he was like, and with Cruz. So had you finally just had so much that you were just your head was gonna explode? Or was it more like a straw that broke the camel's back situation?
I'm sorry, Nia. I failed to see the difference between the two of those situations.
So I packed my bags and we got the hell out of that house. And the second I got in that Uber, it said, do you prefer your ride to be conversational or quiet? And I said, I prefer to be told I am pretty. And the second I got in that Uber, he said, you look pretty today, ma'am. And I started crying.
The Uber that I got into said, do you prefer a conversation quiet or do you prefer it not talking? So Brittany's like, well, There have been a lot of things I've taken Jaxxed back for. I've been cheated on. I've been disrespected. I've been humiliated. I've been through a lot of pain in this relationship, and it has been very public. The pain I've had to deal with is just with us, and I just can't deal with it anymore. And, I think there have been ups and downs to Jaxxed's personality. It's all really hard on me, and he needs to go to therapy.
Wow,
Which,
honey.
yeah, that's, first of all, he's never going to go to therapy or true therapy. But second of all, good for you for finally acknowledging this, that you have been humiliated and disrespected by this man, and it's time to leave.
Yeah. Therapy wouldn't help somebody like Jax. He's beyond. He doesn't think he need it. He doesn't think he needs it. He's one of those who would just go and learn how to use words as a weapon, which is kind of therapeutic words as a weapon, which he's already kind of doing. I mean, look at him. He's like, I'm just so triggered. Like, oh, okay, Jax. So Jax and Jason, Jax is like, yep. I need to go to therapy. Totally going to do that, or maybe like go on a doctor and go on an antidepressant or something, just something to take the edge off. It's just a little something. I think you need to stop doing things that put the edge on, Cokie. Okay, Cokie Roberts. First of all. And second of all, antidepressants aren't there to take the edge off. It's not a fucking glass of Chablis, weirdo.
Chablis. So Jason's like, well, just do something and try to repair the marriage, bro. Like, if that's what you want. He's like, yeah, I really think I pushed her over the edge. And if I don't do anything, it's going to continue. And I have to get help. I have to get help and then not use it. So Jax is like, the thing is, I just want to be happy. I want her to be happy. I don't know. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. I don't know. Oh man, I don't know. I should probably just have to sit down a conversation with Brittany and see where she is. But I can't continue arguing all the time with, drunkie over there. You know what I'm saying, everyone? She's wasted right now, I bet. It's miserable not only for me, but for her. And more importantly, our son, whatever his name is.
I mean, it's confusing for me, just like life is probably confusing for Brittany because she's always so drunk. So, yeah, I'm going to work on myself. So then Michelle's talking about her going through the mediator and stuff for her divorce. And Brittany is like, I'm at a tipping point. And by the way, I'm just not all the way there yet, though, right? Because, maybe, I don't want to let my family down. Mama, it was so hard talking mama, mama, me mom, papa, papa, poochie and douche, everybody into liking Jax in the first place. And then they finally kind of liked him, and I'm going to have to disappoint them. No, just listen, everybody loves to hear, you're right. Just go home and say, hey, guys, you were correct. Everybody would be so happy if Brittany showed up in Kentucky with that kid Jax free.
Oh, they'd be thrilled. So now the big scene, Brittany and Jax's house. So Brittany, well, actually, this is not the big scene. This is before the big scene. So Brittany's at the house and she's telling, Cruz is crying and she's like, hey, don't cry. Auntie Kristen and Uncle Zach are coming over. Why do you think the kid's crying?
Oh my God, if a baby could run fast enough,
There could be nothing more terrifying than Zach and Kristen showing up. Hi, baby. How are you, baby? Seriously, baby? Seriously? I want to take you, baby.
I just tried to hug your baby and it started crying like a little petsy wetsy. All right, I'm stretching it now. Okay, anyway, just came to support you. You didn't do anything wrong. Fuck that guy. And she's like, yeah, I mean, it's just been real difficult. Let's go outside. It just feels weird. And so Kristen's like, yeah, it does feel weird being here. I mean, for you, it must even feel weirder, Because, even when I opened the door, I was like, oh my God, it's, so different in here now.
Brittany's like, well, I've been in this Airbnb for over a month and a half now, so I think about what it would have taken for me to get to that point. I'm like, wait, you're in a different house? That's how generic their main house is. That she was in a full other Airbnb, and I thought that she was in the same house.
She is. She's in Jax's house right now, but he's not there. So they're there doing stuff while he's gone.
So when she said I've been in this Airbnb, it didn't mean this is an Airbnb. It meant I've got this Airbnb.
I think
I was like, wait.
I think that because I think that's what Kristen's saying. She's saying this house feels so different.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now I'm questioning everything that I've just seen. But just remember, this show, nobody knew if it was going to be a success, and they are filming it with $5. So they were probably like, guys, we're bringing the cameras up, which means we're all shooting at Brittany's today. Okay.
We're going to use our reunion budget to film this episode. Okay.
Yeah.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
Listening on Audible helps your imagination soar. Whether you listen to stories, motivation, expert advice, any genre you love, you can be inspired to imagine new worlds, new possibilities, new ways of thinking. There's more to imagine when you listen. Listening can really lead to positive changes in your mood, your habits, and ultimately your overall well-being. I've been wanting something fun and light for the summer, so I started listening to The Stench of Honolulu by Jack Handy, who, of course, is from Saturday Night Live. We all remember Deep Thoughts. And it's true. I really feel like my imagination is bursting at the seams right now.
As an Audible member, you can choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog, including the latest bestsellers and new releases.
New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500. That's audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500.
So Zach is like, well, honestly, Brittany, the fact that you lasted this long while it was this bad, I mean, we've seen it be bad for quite some time. I mean, the amount of shit that we've talked behind your back, it's like honestly hilarious. And it's a testament to your character of trying to work on stuff. But now you can laugh with us instead of us laughing at you. So welcome. Welcome.
Yeah, and Kristen's like, yeah, Jax thinks that she's going to come crawling back and begging, and
He's in for a rude awakening.
You know, he would not be where he is right now had you not wanted to work on the relationship and be like, okay, let's work on us. He would not have anything that he has, and that's only because of you.
And she's saying, yeah, I mean, he's got like narcissism because I got my own friends and my own family here in LA. And he said, I don't got nobody without him and no friends. And I got my own money. I can take care of my own damn self. And like, I have enough control of my life to take care of myself. And that's that.
And she tells us that after Vanderpump Rules was over, that she stepped it up and she was doing a lot of influencer gigs and stuff like that. And so his ego was all hurt that she was making all the money. And it hurt, it made him butthurt. Now, did it make him butthurt enough to go out and work? No.
No.
No. He just wanted to take all the money that she was making and still treat her like crap. So...
yeah,
he talked about how it hurt his manhood.
And it was great. It was actually great to hear. I never really thought about, I don't think about Brittany that much, but like to hear that she actually did kind of like figure out how to get money coming back in that household was actually pretty impressive. I mean, I feel like I kind of dismissed everything she was doing over the past few years. Like, oh, whatever, it's Jax and Brittany. But sort of in this light, I was like, oh, you know what? That's actually pretty cool that she did that. So then they go back inside again. They've like changed. They've gone inside, outside, inside, outside. They're back inside. And she's like, all right, well, enough talking about my drama. Okay. So Zaya, yak. I hear you have a full-time boyfriend now. And he's like, I do. It's been like 6 months. And like, what's crazy is he's already been disinvited to 3 events by Janet. It's amazing.
We knew we were meant to be together because the minute he saw me, he came up, took my head off, and threw it at angry mushrooms and killed them. His name is Super Mario. He's the sweetest guy I've ever known in my life.
So then Zach tells a story about how he and Kristen went to Miami because she got some kind of like sculpting thing done. It wasn't lipo, but it was like lipo adjacent. And he was in the room with her, and as they were like removing the fat, it like squirted out of her and onto his arm.
So then, to sad news, we find out that Kristen finally found out that she was pregnant and lost the baby, which is so sad.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it really is sad. And so she's, they all hug and they talk about how they're there for each other. And then now it's time for the big scene. Brittany and Jax face off. So now they have to have the talk. So he's like, where are you? She's like, I'm upstairs. Are you coming down here? No. Do you want me to come up there then? Yeah. You controlling fuck. Okay. She's packing shit because she doesn't get to live in this house anymore. So she's there to pick stuff up, you piece of shit. Yeah, you can walk up the stairs.
Yeah. So he goes up there and he's like, so what's the plan? She goes, well, you're not going to get away with how you treat me all these years acting all calm, collected. You're just not. And he's like, well, I think the space that we have is good. You know, I thought about it. I talked with friends about it, fucked some girls to really process my emotions. And, you know, I have a therapy appointment on the 26th. Oh, so you finally made an appointment? He's like, yeah. When? Yes, I did it yesterday. Oh, so you made a therapy appointment the day before cameras come up. Got
He's
it.
like, oh, I did it because yesterday was the time to do it. Okay. It's like, yeah, Jax has been saying he's going to therapy for years now, but the day before we pick up cameras, he all of a sudden has an appointment to go and see a doctor. This is all the front, okay? This is what he wants people to see because he's actually, he wants people to think he's actually going to do these things. But guess what? I'll bet you money he ain't going to do it. And then it just cuts. It just cuts to Jax in his confessional. He goes, I did make an appointment, but I didn't go. I didn't go.
I said, yeah, no, it wasn't being filmed. So what's the point, you know?
Yeah.
And the producer's like, well, were you afraid to go? He goes, yeah. And it's like really far. It's in Malibu. So she's like, but if you made that appointment a month and a half ago or
the
2
only
months
place
ago,
you can find therapy in all of Los Angeles is fucking Malibu. No, they wouldn't have it in the like well-populated city portion of Los Angeles, not where all the actors live. Nope, only in Malibu.
Oh, I think you're mistaken, Ronnie. He meant that he booked an appointment for therapy with Jesse's dog.
Distance.
Malibu.
Hi, meet my dog, Distance.
No, I have a therapy appointment with Malibu.
Okay,
So
Brittany's
she's
like, well, I mean, if you had made an appointment a month and a half ago, maybe 1 month. I think Brittany, here's my thing. I don't think that it's necessarily fake what Brittany's doing necessarily, but I do think that she thinks she's making this big stand and now Jax is she's gonna make this big move and so Jax is gonna suddenly improve. No, you married a horrible human being. He's not gonna ever not be a horrible human being. Like, that's just it. What are you gonna do?
Exactly. And she's like, okay, do you want me back or are you going to sit there and let me go? Because I will go. Which already there being like I want you to fight for me to stay does make me alarmed that she's actually doesn't actually want to leave.
She doesn't.
Like, no,
she's not gonna.
Like,
she does not actually want to leave. And what's sad and funny only in the way because we've watched this couple for so many years, and it's like they're so pathetically non-changing, is that he started out the scene where she's like, "Well, I'll bet you really feel something now," and he's like, "I've loved it. It's been great. I think we needed the break.
yeah.
I've been loving it."
He's like, I do want you back. Okay. I do want you back. But, you left me and that was hard for me. And at the time, but like, it's actually been nice. Like, don't you agree this has been nice? He goes, I think it's been amazing. But do you not realize why I decided to leave you? These are things that I need you to address. You took away my safe space. You took away all of that from me. I had to uproot myself and my child. And he's like, well, you didn't have to. She's like, I did have to. He goes, well, it wasn't that bad. I mean, there was arguing, of course. And maybe I gaslit you here and there, made people think that you're a raging alcoholic, couldn't control your liquor, maybe a bad mom, I don't know, maybe unfit to raise a child in any sort of situation. But I think, it could have worked out.
It's like, I mean, we could have worked it out at least to like, where we don't talk like that while we raise our child. Oh, okay. She's like, so you want me to live in the same house as someone who disrespected me and been horrible to me and put me in a toxic living situation for so long and just live in separate bedrooms like everything's okay? And he's like,
yeah. Sounds good to me. Someone's got to take care of this kid.
Yeah, this guy's such a fucking pig. And it's just sad seeing her want something different when it's just not going to happen. So she's like, yeah, and you screamed at me and you said horrible things to me and you said I have no friends. Because I never said that. I mean, you got all those fucking teenage pregnancy Kentucky people.
A sad moment was when she goes, why haven't you done anything? Why haven't you changed? I'm like, well, Brittany, that's the problem, is that Jax is not going to change. So she's like, as soon as these cameras drop, you're going to rage text me a million messages and talk horrible to me. You're going to rage text the shit out of me. Be real. Be real. I don't know how to talk to you anymore. It sucks. I feel freaking weird being in my own bedroom.
And he's like, we talk to each other every day. She goes, yeah, we talk about cruise every day. We don't talk about other things. And he's like, that's what space is supposed to be, Brittany. Okay, you're doing space wrong.
Yeah, but that's what I'm home. I'm not saying I want to talk to you more. I don't. Okay. And he's like, he tells us, I'm just sitting here waving the white flag saying I surrender, which actually is 100% not what's happening. But we still clearly can't be in the same room together without arguing. So I don't know what else to do to show you I'm trying here, except make more perfunctory appointments for therapy that I'm never going to go to. I mean, what else do I have to do?
Yeah, so he's like, listen, there's no reason we can't, look, I know we need our space, but we can coexist. And she's like, oh yeah, well you can't go to TMZ and say Brittany moved back in. He's like, I never said that. It's just, oh really? Here it is. And it cuts to Jax on TMZ. They're like, so what's going on with Brittany? Does she still hate you? He's like, ask her. She's living in the house right now. We're totally back together. Just banged her. Brittany, what? My wife, who I love and who loves me? Yeah, she came back and for me. He's just such a fucking liar, this guy.
Yeah, she's like, it made people think that I'm lying. And she says, out of all the times Jax has embarrassed me publicly, you would think he would grow out of that. And as the mother of his child, then he still goes on national TV and blatantly lies. Like when he goes in House of Villains and says, I had a stroke when he knew it was already ruled out, but I didn't. Who does that? Who goes and lies for attention? He does.
That shit was funny, though. He went on House of Villains, and then we see a clip of him doing it. He's like, yeah, my wife just had a stroke. And they're like, what? Fucking Jax.
Wild.
So, yeah, but look, here's the thing. I'm so glad Brittany's out of this. Brittany, at the end of the day, she is kind of a sweet girl, even despite all of her faults, she's still Brittany. It's like she's still like a sweet girl. Her biggest fault is Jax. Her biggest fault is marrying Jax. She seeked this guy out, went to Vegas, found him. It's like, here's your prize. You know what I mean? Congrats. But that was so long ago. Like, I just want to see her do better. And I want to see her really get away from this guy. And I just don't believe she's doing it. I don't believe it. It makes me sad,
well, I mean, I hope she does stay, like, forge a new life for herself, because she's like, saying how she feels so much stronger now, and like she knows her worth, and she knows that she doesn't deserve to be in a relationship like this. And she's saying like, what was I thinking staying so long? She goes, do you think I'm just gonna keep bouncing from Airbnb to Airbnb? Like, what do you want? And he's like, no. He does the thing where he points to his head and goes, I don't know, something's wrong up here, and I agree, I need help. I got a lot of demons and pent up aggression, and I don't deal with it, and it's all pent up inside, and I take out my meanness on you. And she's like, yeah, and that sucks right there that I had to move out for you to realize.
And by the way, no, he doesn't want you moving from Airbnb to Airbnb. He wants you to move to Kentucky, is what he wants you to do. He wants it to be so he doesn't have to take care of that kid at all, or even see him, or even deal with him at all. He wants you to be completely gone in Kentucky, and he can be the deadbeat fucking loser we all know he is. Like, why prolong it?
Yeah. He's like, oh man, it's just hard for me to ask for help. The men in my life, we don't show our emotions. We just bury that shit. She's like, no, I bury my emotions. Look at our marriage, okay? You let emotions out in a very aggressive way.
Yeah. Oh, it's just mean. That's just how I was raised with men. No, it's not that you're broken. You're a breaker. You're off breaking other people, you fuck. So she's like, okay, let's just not fight in front of Cruz, okay? Are you going to pick him up from after school? And then he gives us his big, it's been amazing. It's been like an amazing 9 years. It really has. I have no regrets. And I love Brittany. Really do. Love her. Great. Love my wife. Great. She's great. She's great. The only thing that'll, the only thing that's going to make her or break this time is that, what are we going to do? I love her. Love her. Great girl. Great kid. Bye. Okay. Bye.
I love he says he has no regrets. You literally cheated on her. Like you had sex with Faith in front of the old lady she was caretaking. Like, you have no regrets about that. Like, how do you say you have
so many
no
things? Yeah, there are some, like, maybe you regret the way you talk to her, or you could have made more of an effort. I mean, at least fake some regrets, dude. So Brittany's like, he's put me through a lot, but I wouldn't have Cruz if I got rid of him a long time ago. So, I just think now that I have Cruz and I've woken up from this situation, I just feel like for his sake and my mental health, I just can't be here anymore. I just can't. And then we see a flashback of their relationship, and I guess we're supposed to cry, but I was just like, okay, like it was basically like a parade of red flags to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like watching a parade of red flags. And I was like, and now we're supposed to believe that you just woke up and realized this was wrong. Get the fuck out of here with that. And that scene where they showed, remember the place on PCH that he proposed at, and then he told everyone there were dolphins jumping in the background, and it was in front of the freeway. Do you remember?
Of course, that was at
The fish place, the fish fry place.
Yeah, Neptune's Net.
Yeah, Neptune's Net.
Yeah.
It's
So,
like getting engaged at an Arby's. Like, congrats. No offense, Neptune's Net. We love you. So
That's wonderful.
that's it. Jax is a piece of shit, Brittany. Please be strong and do literally anything else. Please. I mean, this man has you living in an Airbnb with your son. Please do better. Please. I know Jax won't, but you can.
Well, there was a great first season, a shockingly great first season of The Valley. My expectations were so low. They were in the basement. I was not looking forward to even touching this show. And it wound up being one of the best shows of the year. So
It really was.
Go figure. It was great. It was great from beginning to end. Great job, Bravo.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe they'll throw together a reunion at some point. They really should. It's wild. But in the meantime, thanks everyone for listening. We're now all caught up, and we are going to dive back into current recaps tomorrow. We'll catch you on the next one, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Stroll in the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas. She's never scary, it's the Green Fairy. Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. We want to hang with Liz Lang. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
We forever love Ava.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel. Ring that bell for Rachel.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
If you like Watch What Crappens, you can listen ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
I'm Shimol Yai, and I have a new podcast called The Competition. Every year, 50 high school senior girls compete in a massive scholarship competition.
I wouldn't say I have an ego problem, but I'm extremely competitive.
All of the competitors are used to being the best and the brightest, and they're all vying for a huge cash prize.
This will probably be the most intense thing you've ever gone through in your life.
I remember that feeling because I was one of them. I lost. But now I'm coming back as a judge and also a kind of teen girl anthropologist. Because if you want to understand what it's like to be a young woman in America today, the competition's not a bad place to start.
Hopefully, no one will die on stage tonight.
From Pineapple Street Studios and Wondery, this is The Competition. Follow The Competition on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to The Competition early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
I'm Elena, an autopsy technician.
And I'm Ash, a hairstylist.
And we just love swapping stories about all of the morbid things that fascinate us.
And if you do too, join us on our podcast, Morbid. It's a safe space to let your weirdo flag fly.
On Morbid, we cover dark historical events, sinister science, unnerving paranormal events, and sordid high society murders.
We also dive deep into the most notorious crimes in history.
Our podcast is grounded in rigorous and painstaking research. We're also not afraid to read a
Yeah. We keep it weird because a dash of snark is necessary to get through grotesque true tales of demented minds.
So follow Morbid on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Morbid early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.